This video's not made for kids, you crazy bitch-ass bastard! Come with me to the Sodrian Isle off the coast of Britain. It's about 60 miles. There's good and there's bad and there's stuff in between. With steamies and diesels, you'll see what I mean. People and parcels, works lots of fun. Watch these engines out in the snow, rain, and sun. They work real hard, they stay on track. Oh no, there's some baddies, just watch your back. Are you looking for fun? Yes, we're looking for fun. Are you being really useful? We're being really useful. Sit back and relax. It's the tales of the Northwestern Rails. It's the tales of the Northwestern Rails. Hope you enjoy. What the dickens, Tiger Moth?
Previously on the Allstate Railway Museum arc.
Sir Robert Normanby has invited us to go on a trip to York. I hope we're not too late.
Not to worry, Humphrey. You're right on time.
Hop on board to the York Express. Is this, by chance, York?
Well, that's a surprise. We haven't had anyone from Sodor since 1990. Us staff at the National Railway Museum.
How come you haven't gone to the land down under?
I was scheduled to sail to Australia in 1988, but my trip was cancelled in December a year prior.
Oh my gosh! Evening Star! The last 9F ever built! Let alone the last steam engine built by British Railways. Hey! Stop!
Farewell, engines of Sodor, and tell Murdoch I said hello.
Godspeed, lads.
We better make our way back to Sodor, too. Arriving back on Sodor, all three engines made their way to their designated resting spots. Percy returned to Titmuth Sheds. Duck returned to the Little Western. And Humphrey returned to Knapford Sheds. Oh, fuck. And how was your trip to York, Humphrey? It was amazing, Murdoch. We went to the National Railway Museum, and I saw Flying Scotsman, Duchess of Hamilton, and Mallard. Oh, that's nice. Oh, and I also saw your sister, Evening Star. She says hello to you. Oh, that's real lovely. And maybe someday you'll go to Swindon to see City of Turo. But now, we better get to work. Ye and the other engines have a nice sleep in. See you this afternoon.
Good day, Murdoch.
That afternoon, all three engines woke up from their sleep-in and made their way with their afternoon jobs. Humphrey was fetching a goods train from Titmuth Harbor and had to take it to Vicarstown. The sun was shining, the air was starting to get cooler and crispy, and Humphrey felt quite pleased. Yep, it's just that kind of day. The sun is bright, not a single cloud in sight. It's that kind of a that kind of a day. I got my trucks and I'm just so full of luck. It's that kind of a that kind of a day. We took a trip, it was quite vast. Saw many kinds of trains, some I've not seen before. The memories will surely last. This will for sure be engraved into my brain. Now I'm glad I'm home, here on Sodor we can roam. It's that kind of a day. It's my kind of a, your kind of a, our kind of a.
What kind of a?
That kind of a day. Good evening, you two. Isn't this an agreeable, pleasable, pleasurable day?
Well, aside from the voices, yes, today is a good day.
Voices?
Over the last few days, we heard conversations over at the shunting yards during closing hours.
We believe it's just some trespassers. I keep telling them there's going to be a £1,000 fine if they don't leave the property.
Well, I got some rolling stock to arrange at the shunting yards. Hopefully I can hear him from there. So that's what Humphrey did. Arriving late at the Vicarstown shunting yards, he shunted some box vans over at a siding when he heard the said voices.
Oh, would you please cease your complaints? We're going to get out of here.
How could I, Milford? There's nothing not to complain about.
Hello? But there was no response. It suddenly got quiet. Teenagers these days. I better inform Sir Topham Hatt about this the following day. And he did just that.
If we're going to make the Earl's Railway Museum a smashing hit, we're going to need a bunch of new engines, and I know just the batch. Hello, Humphrey. What's on your mind?
Excuse me, sir. Real quick, I regret to inform you that there's some trouble brewing at the Vicarstown shunting yards.
Well, by convenience, me and Sir Topham Hatt are visiting Vicarstown as we speak. We'll take your word for it.
Oh, well, that's good to hear. Take care, you two. With that, Sir Topham Hatt and Albert made their way to Vicarstown. For the rest of the day, Humphrey was quite relieved.
Everything okay, Humphrey?
Oh, I'm doing quite better now. Henry and Billy told me about some voices at Vicarstown shunting yards yesterday, but I reported it to Sir Topham Hatt, and things should be good in the neighborhood.
Good to hear. Well, I better be off with the mail train.
And with that, Percy collected his utility vans for the mail run and began his night shift mail train. At dawn, when he was dropping off the utility vans, he saw Sir Topham Hatt and Albert emerging from an open area at the Vicarstown shunting yards. The two looked pleased, so Percy assumed that the trespasser issues have been resolved. He reported it to Humphrey the following hour.
Morning, Humphrey. This morning, I saw Sir Topham Hatt and Albert seemingly investigating the area. So I think our little trespassing issue has been solved.
You see, Percy, what I tell ya? But unbeknownst to both of them later that evening, their delight would be dashed.
Come now, Audrey. If they discovered Great Warrington back in 2008,
Wait,
they surely
again?
will discover us again at some point. Maybe.
The chances of us being rediscovered are million to none.
Then there's still a chance, right?
It's coming from that opening.
Driver, throw the switch. And he did just that. Without a second thought, Humphrey charged at the source of the noise.
Stop! Wait! Don't go down that track!
And then there was trouble. Humphrey peered in and saw some unfamiliar faces. Ah! Who are you? Ah! Who are you? Ah! With no time to spare, help arrived. Humphrey was towed out of the building, and Sir Topham Hatt had a stern word with Humphrey.
You should consider yourself lucky that no one was hurt, Humphrey.
Yes, sir. I'm really sorry, sir.
It's fine. But aside of this accident, looks like we found the voices of Vicarstown.
Apologies, sir. I probably should have weighed by the set of points.
Well, well, well. What have we here?
My name is Manfred.
I'm Ward.
I'm Stuart.
I'm Audrey, and yes, I'm named after the author himself.
And I'm a Bafana.
These engines were my grandfather's collection for a railway museum in the 70s until his passing in 97. Ever since his death, the museum closed, which was a terrible mistake since there were reports of vandalism and trespassing. So the place became guarded during the early 2000s. But seeing it now looks like it's some abandoned prison. So when Sir Robert shared his plans for a project of his, I felt the need to act and get these engines a new home, rather than sit and rust in this dilapidated building.
I must say, Richard, this batch of engines is perfect for my latest project.
Oh? What kind of project, sir?
A railway museum.
A railway museum?
Yes, this was an idea I had since 2016, but it never came to be, and I had to put it on hold in 2018. But now with some modification and reference, I can now tie up the loose end.
What kind of references, sir?
Why, our trip to York, of course. I took photos so I can have a good idea for my museum layout at the castle.
Oh, ho, ho, clever thinking, sir.
Next, we'll have your grandfather's engines out, then restored it, and we'll work from here.
First things first, we'll need to fix this track. If we start now, it should be done by the weekend.
Oh, that would be lovely, sir. Thank you.
What is a weekend?
And after a good smirk and chuckle, everyone got to work with setting up the Earl's Railway Museum at Ofsted.